Yeah, take off in the demon like it's stolen, yeah. Gotta execute the plan, yeah, we the chosen, yeah. Whoa, take off in the demon like it's stolen, yeah. Gotta execute the plan, yeah, we the chosen, yeah. Give me a reason, pull up, swirl on them. I'm in the demon, doing donuts in the SRT. Two-tone, hit the red button, I'm gone. Pretty little baby, red bone. Oh yeah, get up out of my way. I'm in my zone. I'm switching up lanes. I'm cutting you out. Making I'm a demon. Different color, for every season. Oh, I'm run it up. Now I'm gone. This sound like Quill. You are the chosen one. You can do anything you put your mind to. You put your mind to. Yeah. You are the chosen one. You can do anything you put your mind to. Put your mind to. Yeah. Take off in the demon like it's stolen, yeah. Like it's stolen. Gotta execute the plan, yeah, we the chosen, yeah. Whoa, take off in the demon like it's stolen, yeah. Gotta execute the plan, yeah, we the chosen, yeah. This sound like Quill. Pull up in the Challenger, you don't wanna challenge us. Ooh, yeah. Pull up in the Challenger, but you don't wanna challenge us. You know, landed on Pluto. You know she's hot, rich froze, blown on gas, sicko. 150 on the dash, we go. Money on go, be smoke. Stick to the script, cheat code. Ooh, I run it up, and I'm gone. This sound like Quill. You are the chosen one. You can do anything you put your mind to. You put your mind to. Yeah. You are the chosen one. You can do anything you put your mind to. Put your mind to. Yeah. Take off in the demon like it's stolen, yeah. Like it's stolen. Gotta execute the plan, yeah, we the chosen, yeah. Whoa, take off in the demon like it's stolen, yeah. Gotta execute the plan, yeah, we the chosen, yeah. This sound like Quill.
Yo, what's happening, my good people out there? We'd like to welcome you to the In God We Trust Academy podcast today. And as always, we give thanks to each and every last one of you and for your participation, as always. And we just ask that you do one thing for us: like, share, and subscribe to us wherever that you are listening to us at this moment, right? And we also give thanks to the Almighty, the Creator, man. So let's just give our praise, because God truly deserves it every single day, man. No matter what's going on in life, for everything that we consider that's a bad thing going on, I can think of a million other good things that's going on, and you are one of them. The fact that you are living and breathing, and you know the people are getting to experience your essence in this, on this face of this earth. It's a beautiful thing, and just remember that you are unique. It's you, right? So as always, man, we just give thanks. And today we're going to be talking about no warrant, no entry. This is something that happens a lot. So I'm going to show you this, and we're going to go on, but we're going to continue to vibe. But just be ready, man. Drop some ones, man, and let me know where everybody is from, man, so I can see how far our reach is today. Let's go.
Yeah. I'm if you tell him about life. I'm on my journey. my journey. Nothing can hurt me. I'm from the ghetto. Where we had to heavy metal. Yeah, nothing can stop it. Haters ain't watching. I'm from the ghetto. Where we had to heavy metal. Yeah, nothing concerns me. I'm on my journey. I'm from the ghetto. Yeah, where we had to heavy metal. I can see you from afar, enemy lurking. Can't stop my purpose. I'm from the ghetto. Where we had to heavy metal. Yeah.
My heart is like a murder scene. Yellow tape around the hate and I can't let you in. Tunnel vision, try to see it like at the end. I know they hope that I win, yeah. But I'm praying on my knees so I see better days. Hope you break me out my shell, I'm trying to spread my wings. Trying to fly away, do better things. I remember all them days they told me that I can't, yeah. Ain't nobody more important me than me. She said she feeling me, but right now I'm just trying to eat. Right now I'm just focused on that chicken. My nigga hit me up, he told me Melly stand on business, yeah. My nigga hit me up, he told me Melly stand on business.
I'm on my journey. Nothing can hurt me. I'm from the ghetto. Where we had to heavy metal. Yeah, nothing can stop it. Haters ain't watching. I'm from the ghetto. Where we had to heavy metal. Yeah, nothing concerns me. I'm on my journey. I'm from the ghetto. Yeah, where we had to heavy metal. I can see you from afar, enemy lurking. Can't stop my purpose. I'm from the ghetto. Where we had to heavy metal. Yeah, coming from the 407, riding on the highway to heaven. Ooh, you better watch out. We shut them down, open up shop. Ooh, yeah. That don't mean they don't play.
Man, are we not all on our journey? Stay focused, man. We see you haters out there lurking. We know you there. But you can't stop it, man. I just want you to know that you cannot stop what is already ordained. You know, everybody got a purpose, and that purpose is going to be fulfilled. You're going to be used by God one way or another. Doesn't matter if you're a believer, etc., because you're still going to play into what God said would happen to those who believe, those who stand firm, and then he had a word for those who don't believe and those who choose to stray away. So either way it go, we're all fulfilling this purpose. Regardless, we're all going to end up exercising the word. Regardless. So it doesn't matter what you think. In that perspective, that's just what it is. So now you got to choose. And I always say every situation, especially when it comes to us as people, it's like you could consider it like life or death. And I don't never necessarily, it could be life and death of a situation based upon what we choose. So, you know, if we're choosing life, choose life. Live by it. Live by love. Live by truth. Live by peace. Live by freedom. And live by justice. That is something that you owe society. You owe that to society. Each and every last one of us do. And for those who fail in that to certain society, it is the duty of those who are in alignment with the law to hold those accountable who choose to transgress against it. And that's everything. We're in a lot of shape of what we are in right now based upon us not fulfilling and walking in that divine purpose. That's one thing. And we got to reach that to see it, you know? It's this everything that you're going on right now with you. Life, just everything. It's a spiritual thing. It's within you. I mean, I've been the one to complain, etc. before in my life, and I had to realize like there's nobody doing anything to me, and anything that I want, I have the power to make that happen right now. All based upon a mental mind, because it starts with your mental. It starts with your mind. Are you making the decision to do? And it's really that simple. And when you make up your mind in something, you're gonna do it no matter what. No matter what come your way. And you are already accepting whatever come, let it come. Because I'm not stopping. But if this is the route that it's gonna take to get there, then let's go. And you got to find that in you. That's not something anybody can give you. That's something that you got to find within yourself. And when you find that, you will know it because you'll never let it go. It's going to awaken something in you that you've been looking for the whole time. But it's you. It's literally you. Right? So how you guys doing out there today, man? I see we got people from everywhere, man. So we welcome you guys as always. And, it's a journey. But we got to keep moving. Like, listen to what's being said. I'm just really wanting y'all to take control of your life. We finna get into the message today, but take control. Cause we all on our journey. And ain't nothing gonna hurt you. Hey. Nothing can stop it. Nothing. And they watching. I'm from the ghetto. Where we had so heavy metal. Yeah. Nothing concerns me. I'm on my journey. I'm from the ghetto, yeah. Where we had so heavy metal. I can see you from afar, and I'm lurking. See you. Can't stop my purpose. I'm from the ghetto, where we had so heavy metal, yeah. My heart is like a. See, I had to let y'all get feel that. That's all I can say, man. Feel that. Just make sure that you feel it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, listen, man. Y'all gotta feel this. I know they hope that I win, yeah. But I'm when I say feel it. Y'all gotta feel it, man. Watch. Y'all gotta feel it. Yeah. Before we get started, I gotta know y'all feel it. Let me know. I'm if you tell him about life. I'm on my journey. Feel this for yourself. Ask yourself this question. Are you on your journey? Do you know your purpose? Do you know who you are? I'm on my journey. You know what's really going on? I'm from the ghetto. Where we had so heavy metal. Yeah. Nothing can stop it. Yeah. Haters ain't watching. I'm from the ghetto. Where we had so heavy metal. Yeah. Nothing concerns me. I'm on my journey. I'm from the ghetto, yeah. Where we had so heavy metal. I can see you from afar, and I'm lurking. Can't stop my purpose. I'm from the ghetto, where we had so heavy metal, yeah. And that's it. That is it. That is it, man. And that's all y'all need to know. Ask yourself that question, man. You here for a purpose, so wake up. All righty, man. So what we got coming up, January the 18th, the ultimate consumer tax class for refund rights and remedies. So, if you want to learn more about taxation and the truth about taxation, because everybody's pissed about, well, you got taxed when you work and you get taxed on everything else that you do. And you're like, it's not fair. It's like I'm being constantly drained. So now we have to dive deep into what and who's supposed to be paying taxes and on what events is considered to be taxable. And boy, we're going to open up some eyes with that, because if you're the ultimate consumer, which means that if you go and buy a candy bar and you eat it, you're the ultimate consumer. You cannot resell it, right? So therefore, you shouldn't have been taxed. And you got a right to a refund. Think about all the taxes on the groceries, the clothes, just everything. Something to think about, right? So just make sure if you want to be a part of that class, come on and join us, yo. All right. And also we got work sessions Mondays, Wednesdays. As of today is Wednesday. So I will see you guys there tonight at 6 p.m. Central Time. And that's what we on. So if you're going to be there with us, we're going to definitely have a good time tonight as well. This is free, so, or you'll be here wherever you at. But if you want to be inside of the class asking questions, then you might want to follow what it says to do in order to sign up. All right. We also got the Chat GPT class on the 17th as well, to where we're going to show you how to use Chat GPT to handle certain things for you, to show you, but you're going to still got to know the law. You still got to know your rights. That's the whole thing about this. You're not going to get away without knowing, because ChatGPT can mess up. So you have to be fully aware and understand what to do and what to tell it and how to program it to do what it is that you want it to do. All right. And this is, something I learned myself. I've been dealing with it for a minute, and it's great. Great tool for me, because I know what I want from it and what I want it to do. But you have to learn that too. So I'm going to show you that as well. And you guys will be able to fully enjoy using AI. I know a lot of people are afraid of AI, but don't tell it anything you don't want it to know. And that's all I can tell you. All right. Alrighty though, but let's get in it. No entry, no warrant, man. What are we talking about today? Let's see what has transpired, everyone.
Keeping his foot in the door. Oh. He's preventing me from closing my door so they can bomb rush my house.
Oh. We have knowledge of the warrant and also
knowledge of, yes, but you have to have.
So now pause it. Number one, he has the foot already in the door. That is considered entry. And the first thing that he said is, we have knowledge of a warrant. Okay? This is very key. This happens to a lot of people all the time, especially in what we call the projects, the slums, whatever the case may be, those type of areas. This happens a lot because they think you don't know shit, and you're going to listen to this guy and listen at exactly what's being said. So let's run this.
Keeping his foot in the door. He's preventing me from closing my door so they can bomb rush my house.
We have knowledge of a warrant and also
knowledge of, yes, but you have to have a warrant in hand in order to enter my premises.
All right. I understand you think you realize all the law.
No, I don't.
So see how he just downplayed her? I understand that you think you know the law. See, and that's an insult. Like you're basically saying that we the people are stupid. We don't know shit, and you can just violate every single law that it is. That's how they look at us all the time. Soon as they put that badge on, dun 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 dun. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a theme song in their head when they put that badge on. You know, and that's just what I came up with. Dun, 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 dun. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, just really pay attention. So he's already insulted her, right? And I really want you to hear, he said,
knowledgeable warrant and also
In the door. He's preventing me from closing my door so they can bomb rush my house.
we have knowledgeable warrant and officer.
Knowledge of,
Yes, ma'am.
but you have to have a warrant in hand in order to enter my premises.
All right. I understand you think you realize all the law.
No, I don't.
All right.
No, I
As long as
don't.
there's a valid warrant, it does not have to be here.
I want a warrant to
oh
enter.
my God. Did he just say that? As long as there is a valid warrant, it does not have to be here. Dude, see, and this is the point. I can't blame the sheriff department or whatever department this is because I can't really see. I don't know if it's the sheriff or the city, but I can't blame them. I blame us. Because the only reason this is happening because we're ignorant of the law. That's why he has a job. Because I'm sure he was supposed to have been fired and probably put into jail a long time ago. Because this is something they do. You see what I'm saying? And this is wrong on so many levels. He just literally said it does not have to be present. Now, everybody watches Law and Order, or you've probably seen it at one point, and they do not do shit without the without the warrant being present. They always go get that warrant before they go kick in your freaking door. They always do. And it's like people, they don't know people watch this. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. So let's just continue on and just hear what else has been said. I'm going to back it up.
No, I
All
don't.
right?
No, I
As long as
don't.
there's a valid warrant, it does not have to be here.
I want a warrant to enter my premises. You have to have permission to enter my premises. And you're saying as long as it's a warrant valid to enter my premises. My premises. Why would you hold your foot in my door the whole time till you can find something? That's breaking the law. So I don't know all the law, but I do know you don't have the right to leave your foot in my door preventing me from closing it.
Then when I'm actively investigating a crime, criminal act, you don't have the right to slam the door in my face.
To slam the door in your face? I didn't even close the door.
You tried to.
I didn't even close the door. Now that's what you accusing me of? You're a liar. You are a liar. Accusing me of slamming the door. I couldn't even close the door. You stepped up here when your officer was speaking and put your foot in my door. You a liar.
What happened?
He was standing by the door. Oh, you figuring out all the other charges while you got your foot in my door, right? I'm closing my door until you give me a warrant to enter these premises. Move your foot. Remove your foot. Why not? Why won't you remove your foot? Remove your foot out of my door.
Like, you don't have the
He's
right to
breaking
do
the law.
that. Like, you don't have the right to do that. It's ridiculous.
Now am I slamming
It's
it?
fucking ridiculous.
No, he don't have the right.
You don't. You don't.
While they
Because
stand
it
up
works
here
that way. That's
and
not the
figure
law.
out
It doesn't
why
state that in the
and
law
how they
because
can
it works
enter
that
my
way.
premises.
It's like, that doesn't make any sense. Because it works that way. I didn't know that was written in Law 14 of my rights.
Mm-hmm.
Friends don't let friends pay too much for groceries. What's going on?
Alrighty. So the foot is already in the door. That's an entry without a warrant. Not only that, it's a forceful entry, which makes it breaking and entering. You see what I'm saying? It makes it breaking and entering. No matter what, you got to have that warrant, buddy. I don't know where you learned your shit from, but you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. And we're going to show you that today.
Keeping his foot in.
And it's just, he said, as long as the warrant is valid. So, a warrant of arrest is a written order issued by a court or magistrate directed to a peace officer to specify a private person commanding him to arrest a named person, right? It is regarded as fundamental law that where one cannot arrest without a warrant must be acquired and be in the actual possession of the one making the arrest. Otherwise, he is not protected by it. Okay? The requirement of having the warrant for arrest in actual possession is the common law rule, thus is part of due process of law, as it is a procedure which deprives a citizen of his liberty. In a case where a policeman, by direction of a sheriff, all right, arrested an individual pursuant to a warrant, it was claimed the arrest was unlawful since the sheriff retained the possession of the warrant in his office. The Supreme Court of North Carolina held that the overwhelming weight of authority for misdemeanor charges is that the officer must have the warrant in his possession. So listen, because he was there for somebody, and she said, well, you just can't come get somebody here. You have to have a warrant saying that you need the place to be searched to seize a certain person. That's exactly what the Fourth Amendment says. A warrant has to be present for the thing, for the place to be searched, okay? Or the thing or person to be seized. Has to be on the freaking warrant. So, do you know how dangerous it is to have an individual like that on your force? It escalates into where someone could get killed. And just so happens to be a woman there. I wonder what would happen if a man was there. I think it would have been a lot more aggressive, right? So let's just read what the court stated. It says, we find the general rules stated as follow. The warrant must at the time of arrest be in possession of and with the person purporting to act thereunder or of one with whom he is acting in conjunction. Accordingly, where the warrant is at the officer's house, some distance from the scene of the arrest, or in the hands of another who is not at the scene of arrest, or in the central office of a city detective bureau, the arrest is unlawful. So it don't matter where the freaking warrant at. And that's the reason why I keep telling y'all, when they pull you out of a car and they arrest you because of a warrant, oh, we got a warrant on you. Man, okay, go ahead. False imprisonment. You're getting sued. You don't got the warrant. And anytime they're going to seize any form of liberty from you, they have to have a warrant to seize it. I don't care what it is. Everything has to go through court, has to go through the jury. The people is the one who get to decide. That is the part of the republic form of government, because at the end of the day, it goes back to the people, the jury, the 12. Always. And the only way this is going to happen, you see what I'm saying? The only way this is going to happen is if the people become more knowledge of the law. I didn't say statutes. Be aware of the statutes, because you can use those in form of holding them accountable for how they have to operate as well. But also know that no statute should cause a conflict of interest with the Constitution. Gotta know that. And there's so many of them that do. Since there was no felony or breach of peace committed in the presence of the policeman, his arrest was deemed illegal despite the fact that there was a valid warrant. Despite that there was a valid warrant for the individual arrested. Since it was with the sheriff who was in another town, in a whole freaking different town. The court also said the good faith of the policeman did not affect the unlawfulness of the arrest. So just because they did something by good faith does not change the unlawfulness of the arrest. If they don't got it, it's unlawful. That's the reason why I say if they take your cars from driving and tell them you got to call it, that's seizing the property without a warrant. You can't do it. The deputy DA signed. See, you're supposed to hold them accountable because it can't be a deputy DA. It has to be the judge. Straight up. Right? All righty. So watch this, man. Let's just go back. And now, since you know that, now listen at this. And I want you to understand how unconstitutional everything is. Let's go.
In the door. He's preventing me from closing my door so they can bomb rush my house.
We have knowledge of a warrant, an officer has
Knowledge of?
Yes, ma'am.
But you have to have a warrant in hand.
Ooh. Let's look again. He said he had knowledge. He had knowledge of. Look, I'm just telling y'all what the law say now. You know, this is just what it says. You got to have it. Got to have it. Since there was no felony or breach of peace committed in the presence of the policeman, his arrest was deemed illegal despite the fact there was a what? Valid warrant. It doesn't matter that you have knowledge of a valid warrant. Who cares? Do you got it with you? See, everything is about delegation of authority. Upon what authority are you acting upon? If you come here as trying to do something and seize a liberty without a form of authority, you in violation. So that knowledge, having knowledge of a warrant, don't save you. The only thing saving y'all right now is the ignorance of the people.
But you have to have a warrant in hand in order to enter my premises.
All right. I understand you think you realize all the law.
No, I don't.
Right.
No, I
As long
don't.
as there's a valid warrant, it does not have to be here.
I want a warrant to enter my premises. You have to have permission to enter my premises. And you're saying as long as it's a warrant valid to enter my premises. My premises. Why would you hold your foot in my door the whole time till you can find something? That's breaking the law. So I don't know all the law, but I do know you don't have the right to leave your foot in my door preventing me from closing it.
And when I'm actively investigating a crime, criminal act, you don't have the right to slam the door in my face.
To slam the door in your face? I didn't even close the door.
You tried to.
I didn't even close the door. Now that's what you accusing me of? You're a liar. You are a liar. Accusing me of slamming the door. I couldn't even close the door. You stepped up here when your officer was speaking and put your foot in my door. You a liar.
What happened?
He was standing by the door.
Bro, you funny.
Oh, you figuring out all the other charges while you got your foot in my door, right? I'm closing my door until you give me a warrant to enter these premises. Move your foot. Remove your foot. Why not? Why won't you remove your foot? Remove your foot out of my door.
This is trespass.
You don't have the
He's
right to
breaking
do
the
that.
law.
Like, you don't have the right to do that. It's ridiculous.
Now am I slamming
It's
it?
fucking ridiculous.
It just
No,
became
you don't
forceful.
have the right.
You don't. You
It's just
don't.
breaking and entering.
While they
Because
stand
it
up
works
here
that way. That's
and
not the
figure
law.
out
Oh my God.
It doesn't
Why?
state that in the law
How
because
did
it
you
works that
interrupt
way.
me?
It's like that doesn't make any sense.
Freaking criminals.
Because it works that way. I didn't know that was written in Law 14 of my rights.
He's a whole criminal, man. Criminals. They are amongst us. I see criminals. I see criminals. That's what I see as criminals. Now, since we know that, let's keep on reading. A Mississippi case involved a warrant that was issued for the arrest of Bill Smith on a reckless driving charge. Right? Under the sheriff's instruction, a deputy went to Smith's home to arrest him while the warrant remained in the sheriff's office. Smith was asked to see the warrant for his arrest. The deputy replied that he did not have it with him, but that it was at the sheriff's office and Smith could see it when they arrived there. However, Smith said he would have to see the warrant before he would submit to the arrest. Smith resisted the arrest. The sheriff was called out, but came without the sheriff was called out and he came without the warrant, right? Smith again resisted, but was forcibly taken to jail. The Supreme Court held the arrest unlawful under the great weight of authority. There you go, delegation of authority. An officer making an arrest for a misdemeanor not committed in his presence must have the warrant for such arrest in his actual possession if the arrest is to be lawful. Same thing goes to, because all of this applies to Amendment 4 and 5, due process. This is serious, yo. So we got a whole criminal. And I keep telling you guys, we just witnessed a crime. Every last one of us did. And some of you like, well, what can we do? Easy, quo warranto. If we knew exactly who that lady is, we could reach out to her and see what actually happened throughout the whole entire situation. And we all just became witnesses, and we can do a petition, a quo warranto, on that particular officer and the department who is responsible for the training of the officer. That's the power that we got. It's not like we just have to sit here and do nothing when we see these things. Because again, you're watching an officer who took an oath. So if you just watched him violate an oath he took to you, he took an oath to you. You see what I'm saying? He took an oath to protect the Constitution, and it is a contract that he made with the people. So that means that if we see it, we have a right to report the crime. And here's my thing. These officers are sitting here watching crimes happen daily on these TikTok videos. Some of them are even making TikTok videos themselves. We're watching a lot of people commit a lot of crimes. And I keep telling you, the first and last line of defense is always the people. It's your duty to do something about this. So in a criminal case involving a violation of a lien, a policeman was given a warrant for the arrest of a man named Shaw. He drove to Shaw's house in a buggy. He left the warrant in a buggy being some 150 yards from the house. Ooh, he left it in the car. The officer went into the house and put his hand on Shaw's shoulder, told him that he had a warrant for him and considered himself under arrest. Shaw asked, "What for?" The officer replies, "For disposing of property under lien, and that a Mr. Badham has sworn out warrant," right? So Shaw said, "I am not going." He resisted the arrest and claimed at trial that the arrest was not valid, as at the time of arrest, the officer had no actual possession of the warrant. The state Supreme Court held that the warrant was, in fact, in the officer's possessions, right? The authorities agreed that in cases of misdemeanors not committed in his presence and for which he cannot lawfully arrest without a warrant, the officer should have the warrant in his actual possession at the time of making the arrest. It was not necessary that he should have the warrant in his hand or in his pocket at the time of making the arrest. Actual possession of it does not mean that the rule is satisfied if the officer has such possession of the warrant that he can produce it with reasonable promptness on demand. So that means that he has to produce it. Just because he has it in his car don't mean enough. If you ask for it up on demand and it's not shown, it's violation. The question of what constitutes possession of a warrant has often been debated, but it is obvious that it must be so close at hand as to show it upon request. So you have to request it. Thus, it need not to be said that the warrant must in all cases be directly in the hand of the arresting officer. This would be too narrow and technical view of the law, and one not based on substantial grounds. One reason for actual possession is to show the authority for the arrest. Another is to display or read the warrant, and since this is to be done promptly, the possession must exist. Thus, the warrant must be in possession, but not necessarily in hand, as the Federal Circuit Court of Appeals stated. But it has to be shown upon request. Do not forget that. The officer who seeks to arrest by the virtue of a warrant must have the warrant in his possession at the time of arrest. Okay? We need not to undertake to define exactly what is meant by in his possession. Of course, it does not necessarily mean the warrant shall be actually in his hand. Where a warrant was directed to all police officers and exhibited to 2 officers but was kept in the police station, the warrant was not sufficiently in the possession of 2 officers to sustain an arrest by them. So again, have to demand it. Demand it. Okay? Very important. In the rather famous and landmark case of Crosswhite versus Bourne, a warrant for the arrest of Mrs. Bourne was issued by a justice for a misdemeanor and placed into the hands of W.T. Crosswhite, chief of police. Crosswhite, along with police sergeant, set out to execute the warrant, but left the warrant of arrest in his desk at the courthouse. When the officers first saw Mrs. Bourne, she was driving down State Street in her automobile. The police turned their car in front of Mrs. Bourne's car to stop her. One officer opened her car door, took hold of her by her arm, and said, "Get in my car." She refused and told the police she would not go anywhere without her husband. Right? The policeman said, "We want you, not your husband." She asked the officers to show her the warrant. Mrs. Crosswhite said he did not have to do so, just like that one just said, and said that you are going to the courthouse. The argument continued in the ending in Mrs. Barnes being forcibly taken to the courthouse. Mrs. Barnes brought an action against Crosswhite and the other policemen for illegal arrest, right, and assault and battery. The police were found guilty on appeal. The Supreme Court of Appeals of Virginia affirmed the conviction and in very authoritative decision stated, now listen, the textbooks generally state, in many cases hold, that it is necessary not only that a warrant of arrest should have been issued, but the officer making the arrest shall have it with him and show it on request. Show it on request. Okay? So, it is also said an officer arresting on a warrant must have the warrant with him and must show it on request. Right? New Criminal Procedure, Section 190, it is said to justify an arrest under a warrant. The officer must have it in possession, and if though delivered to him, he leaves it at his office or station house, it will not protect him, right? So this is on a ruling case law. Speaking of misdemeanors not committed in the presence of the officer, it is said the officer should have the warrant in his actual possession in order to justify the arrest, and if he does not have it, although it has been duly issued, an officer making an arrest may not be protected by it. So that's a fact. The court also referred to and relied upon previous case in Virginia, the case of Musco versus Commonwealth, in which a policeman undertook to arrest Musco for a past misdemeanor without a warrant, and Musco shot and killed him. Damn. He was convicted of murder, and in the appeal, the court reversed the conviction, stated, indeed, not only must there be a warrant in the class of cases last mentioned, but to justify the arrest, the officer must have the warrant with him at the time. See? So, we have to make sure that we uphold our duty. We got to make sure we the people do our due diligence, because the Constitution constitutions is your protection. Well, God is your protection. But our right and exercising that will protect us. But we may have to make sure that we are in line with it. So you must request it. Tell them to show the warrant. And I don't care what it's for, though, right? Because we got to make sure that we understand exactly what's being said in the Fourth Amendment. Okay? We got to make sure we know exactly what's being said. So, and words are very important. So let's read this. It says the right of the people. So this is not a privilege. The right of the people to be secure, which means protected in their persons, your houses, your papers, and effects. So when we say papers, that means documentations, anything. So that even falls when they go to asking you to identify, they don't got the right to do anything until they have a warrant subpoenaing you to come to court for it or certain things or whatever to identify yourself. They got to have that too. Unless somebody has fully identified you in a crime and it's enough evidence and they have that to come after you as well. Because this is strict in what it says, securing their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures. Okay? Shall not be violated, and no warrants, okay, shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by an oath or affirmation, particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. So that's why I say, if they on the side of the road, they took your car, where's the warrant for the thing to be seized? You see what I'm saying? Understand that. They came and seized something from you. They need to do it lawfully. I don't care what it is, where you at. Right? We got to make sure that we understand the law to that amount because it's real important that we know that. Very, very important. Right? So when it comes to this, with the officer having the foot in the door, again, that's trespassing, that's breaking and entering, right? Already, there's no warrant. So now he's doing things on his own cognitive, right? Without any form of authority. He's operating outside of his authority. Now he loses his immunity. Anything that they do from that point on, no matter what it is going to be dismissed and should be dismissed according to due process of law. That's an absolute fact. Right? So I just wanted to leave you guys with that for today. Watch this video, learn from it, right? And you can go find the just go type in Treaty of False Imprisonment, and you can Google it, and you'll find a PDF, and it'll teach you a lot when it comes to that, because this type of stuff happens all the time, and you guys need to understand how to operate and exercise these things for your benefit, because it is the duty of we the people. Go read the Declaration of Independence and understand that it's your duty to protect everything that's going on with you, your rights, and the rights of others, the people, especially those who become lame in law. That means it's our duty, because if I see you harming you is harming me. Yep, harming you is harming me, right? So again, man, I appreciate each and every last one of you. Make sure y'all log in with us tonight. It's the only chance you're going to get. Tonight, Here you go. You better do what you see. Everything that you see right here, make sure you do what it says so you can get in the class. Let's go.
Take off in the demon like it's stolen. Gotta execute the plan, yeah, we chosen, take off in the demon like it's stolen.
You know what, Cynthia Walker? You're right, but guess what? That's not our fault. Remember, ignorance of the law is inexcusable.
Give me a reason. Pull up, swerve on them. I'm in the demon, doing donuts in the SRT. Scoot on, hit the red button, I'm gone. Pretty little baby, red bone. Yeah, get up out of my way. I'm in my zone. I'm switching up lanes. I'm cutting you out. I'm a demon. Different color, be every season. Run it up, run it up, run it up. Now I'm gone. This sound like Quill.
Get in there.
You can do anything you put your mind to. You put your mind to. Yeah. You are the chosen one. You can do anything you put your mind to. Put your mind to. Yeah. Take off in the demon like it's stolen.